Okay, Miss Morgan, where you've been, no one has ever been there and come back. And
We may look different and live in different countries, yet our stories are knitted with the same threads of excitement, uncertainties, challenges, and victories. As we journey through the ups and downs of life, it is our undeniable will and God's strength that propel us to joy after pain, smile after frowns, and ups after downs. We were born to win. We were destined to greatness. We are overcomers. Welcome to GodScoop's raw and unedited stories. Welcome to Raw and Unedited Stories, the place where stories are told to uplift, encourage, and brighten your day. Now, if you have already subscribed to our channel, we thank you for sharing great stories. And if you have not, now is the time to do so. With us today is Sandra Morgan to tell her story. Welcome, Sandra. Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
I'm glad to be here sharing with you. My name is Sandra Morgan. I am from the community of Top Hill District is in Southeast Clarendon. I can recall I woke up with severe shortness of breath. So I walked in and I told them what was happening to me, and immediately they start doing my vitals. My pressure was exceedingly high. Then I was given a piece of red cartridge paper that they cut up, and the colors have different meanings. So the red is emergency. And I remember getting up from the chair, walking past the nurse's station, and the next thing I knew was that I woke up on a bed and I was screamed around and I was stretching my hands and kicking out my feet because my whole body feel numb. Next thing I know, there were doctors and nurses. Everybody was just running to me. They had the machine to do the ECG, and they come and they were stringing me up with all sort of something. They were testing me, uh, um, testing my breathing, the pressure, the blood pressure thing was put on my hand, and my finger was in the oximeter, everything. And I was shocked and I was like, Doctor, what is happening? What is it? And the doctor said to me, shh, okay, Miss Morgan, where you've been, no one has ever been there and come back.
Oh,
And
you said, so the doctor said you have never been this place before. Nobody has ever been there
you've
before.
been there,
So
right,
you
and
saying
come
that
back.
you died. Did he say you died?
I died for an hour and some minutes.
Wow.
I was clinically dead, and just the mercy of God. God saw it fit for me to be resurrected from the dead. I was dead, so they took everything off me. No drips, nothing at all, because I was dead. A doctor came to me, and the doctor sat on my bed, and the doctor asked me, how are you, Miss Morgan? And I said, I am blessed and I'm giving God thanks, because that's my thing. Once you ask me how I am blessed and I'm giving God thanks. And he said to me, even now my colleagues are still baffling over what happened to you in the emergency room, because medically that shouldn't have happened. But when I went home, I spoke with my wife and I told her what happened, and we prayed.
Wow.
And the answer we got is that you're called, you're anointed, and you're only waiting on your appointment because your work on earth is not completed.
Wow.
I was speaking to somebody about this just last week. From that day, I have never ever seen that doctor again. And all my ears, because Mapen Hospital is the hospital that I always go to, even though Lionel Town is nearer to my home. And I question doctors, I question porters, I question everybody, nurses and so. I keep asking for that doctor. I keep describing the doctor to them, and today no one have been able to identify that doctor. They said no doctor works there that fit that description or anything. And
Sandra,
it was just recently it come to me and say, well,
yeah,
you know, it's an angel God did send to you. And
that's
then I start looking back into it and I said, truth, you know, because guess what? Doctors don't normally sit on patients' bed.
so Sandra, you're saying that's what I was thinking when you said he sat on your bed, visited by an angel, right? A
Yes.
messenger. All right.
I tell you, it's just so awesome when I think about everything that happened there. I remember the doctor came the second morning after I was admitted. The doctors came and they were doing the bed to bed routine. And one of them said to me, Miss Morgan, based on your results, your heart is so far gone. You have about 8 months to get things together. And I sat up, get up and I sat up on the bed. And I said, Doctor,
Hmm.
the blood of Jesus is against you. I didn't even remember that I was in the hospital. And nurses and everybody start looking patient, come and start peeping over in the cubicle and so. I said, Doctor, the blood of Jesus is against you. How dare you? I give me limit for my life. You are God. And you give me life. You can't take me life. The blood of Jesus is against you. And he was like, okay, Miss Morgan.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Sandra, so after that entire the visit from this messenger and then the report from the doctor, let's move forward to talk about how you got out and what happened and how you got your healing and you actually traveled to
Okay. I
Jamaica.
was while I was there for about maybe I spent about 2 weeks and so, and I remember they had assigned from Jamaica Youth for Christ, they had assigned Pastor Everton Barneswell, that's the father of Pastor Rowan Barneswell, and they would come to me, they would buy like juice and stuff and come to me. They would leave money with me that in case I want something while I'm there, then I could get I have money that I could get somebody to buy it for me.
Exactly how many months did you spend in the hospital and what exactly was it a heart problem the doctors diagnosed?
I
What
okay, at that time I spent about 2 to 3 weeks. It wasn't a full month. But what the diagnosis was that I have congestive heart failure and ischemic heart disease.
So what did they explain to you when they actually uh, um sent you home? What
What was said to me is that I'm to take care of my blood pressure, I'm to take my medications and make sure everything is okay. Because where I'm at now, I'm at a really difficult stage in my illness, and like I wasn't to do anything that would aggravate my heart also.
So they said to you that you had 8 months to live. How many
That's what
months?
the doctor had
How
said
many
to
years
me.
after that you're living now?
8 months. It was 2004, 2005, and now it's 2023. It's a whole lot of years.
Absolutely, absolutely a miracle. So you
Yes.
are, so Sandra, you are a walking miracle.
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, as I speak, I'm writing a book about my medical journey, and the name of the book is I Am a Miracle. I Made It.
And if I could describe you, a woman, if somebody asked me, describe Sandra Morgan, I would say Sandra Morgan is a servant of the Lord. And the Lord
Yes, I am.
saved you for a purpose.
To 2016, the morning of December 1, I woke up about 3:30. When I woke up though, I stretched to take up my phone. And when I stretched with my right hand to take up my phone, my right hand just snapped back in so to my chest. So I half sat up in the bed and I used my left hand to take up the phone. But I realized that when I try now to plug the phone, the USB in the phone, to charge it, this hand could not manage. I said, but what is to God? And I realized that what was coming from my mouth was blah, 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 blah.
Goodness.
And I realized there and then that